I broke this today. I want to tell you what happened. I didn't record it because I'm an idiot, but it was on a Zoom call, and they're going to send me the recording soon. So here's what happened. Joe Montana is promoting, what is it again? The
FCI or something?
Something like, yes. Sorry, Joe, I should know that. I will when I write the article. But basically, it's a spring 7-on-7 football league where like players are like the owners. No, fans are the owners, and fans call plays. And it's kind of wild, and it's on Twitch right now. So anyway, he was promoting that, and I interviewed him about that. And then at the end, I said, Joe, could I ask you a couple of questions about the Niners? And he said, yeah, of course. We got a little bit of time. So I said, Joe, what do you think of Jimmy Garoppolo? And on the record, he's pretty good when he's healthy. I'm paraphrasing. He's pretty good when he's healthy, but it's not healthy enough. It's not healthy enough. And it seems to me the Niners should just move on and start someone younger and more vivacious. Those were his words, younger and more vivacious. And then he keeps going and said, and that's not it. The Niners really shouldn't have given him all that money with that contract. He had only had, how many starts was it? I was at 7, Joe, 7. Yeah, that's right. He only had 7 starts. And he said, the other thing is, I don't think there's ever been a backup of a great quarterback who went on to another team and became a great quarterback. That's what he said. I don't think there's ever been a backup of a great quarterback who went on to be great somewhere else. Now, Steve Young was great on the 49ers behind Joe. Aaron Rodgers, great on the Packers after Brett Favre. But I think and I'll have to go back and listen to the quote, I think what Joe Montana was saying is basically, if Jimmy Garoppolo was the truth, the Patriots wouldn't have gotten rid of him, because the Niners pushed Joe out the door because Steve was the truth. And it was like, look, Joe, we love you, but Steve's the real deal, and he's younger than you. It's over. And the same thing with Favre and Rodgers. Favre, we love you, but Rodgers is the truth. And Favre went on to have good years after that. Montana went on to have good years after that. What we're seeing, I think, is that Jimmy Garoppolo was a little bit of a mirage. He got hurt in New England. He gets hurt all the time. And what Joe is saying is the guy can't stay healthy, move on, get someone younger and more lively, durable. What do you think?
No, I mean, I agree with you 100%. Like, it's fun. It's funny how Joe Montana says these words. And again, like I told you, before coming on the show, I was like, man, I don't wake up for Joe Montana, but I wake up for you. But no, getting back to he's the best. Aside from Tom Brady, but he knows the quarterback position. Like, he's arguably the best to ever do it. So when he says words like that, you have to take it into account, but then take it a step further and say, really, what is Kyle Shanahan thinking? Like, why are you throwing all this smoke when you know damn well that he ain't the answer?
And I think it's just amazing that Joe Montana is so candid. Candid. It's like, I'm not in the organization. I mean, they're not paying me to pump up his trade value. I'm saying I'm Joe Montana. I'm allowed to be candid. It's my franchise. I built this franchise, and I'm telling I'm not even really judging. He's good when he plays. He just doesn't play enough, and he's getting older. Let's get someone younger who plays more. I think that's basically like common sense. And for him to say it, I think is devastating for Jimmy Garoppolo. Once Joe Montana says that on the record about the 49ers starting quarterback, there's no coming back.
Absolutely.
There's no coming back. Now I think the whole fan base is going to be like, well, Joe's right. If you remember, Alex Smith, there was a moment when he was the starter before Harbaugh got here where Jerry Rice said, enough, he's not our quarterback. Mm-hmm. And Alex still talks about that to this day, about how that was pretty much the end for him in San Francisco, because the fans will never look at you the same way when a legend writes you off.
Right. So
I just thought it was interesting. I mean, would Steve Young be that candid on the record about no, I don't think he would. He'd kind of tap, he'd say it, but then he wouldn't.
He would, yeah. I mean, I think we've been around Steve Young to know how he kind of would play it politically.
Yes.
But that will also give you little tidbits, so you kind of have no choice but to decipher one way.
He would say a lot, and part of it would be what Joe was saying, but the other part would probably be giving Jimmy Garoppolo the benefit of the doubt. But what I thought was really, really interesting about Joe is not just that he wrote off Jimmy, was that he also critiqued the organization and said, what were you thinking there? It's not just Jimmy. It's Jed. It's John Lynch. It's Kyle. Like 7 games. I'm sure from Joe's perspective, like, boy, how much money had I made after 7 games in the NFL? Like, Jimmy Garoppolo's worth $100 million. How much did Joe Montana make in the NFL? Like 10 million, maybe? Like, wow, this guy really didn't have to prove anything to make a fortune. I would. And the other thing that I asked Joe was, hey, Joe, he was saying, like, about the 7-on-7 league. Like, well, the funny thing is, football today has kind of become like 7-on-7. They've taken a lot of the hitting out of it. And I said, Joe, would you like to? Do you ever think like that you would have liked to play today in this era where they protect quarterbacks and quarterbacks make $40 million a year? He's like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. So
that's fantasy football. That's the. He
might have been playing. Football. He might have been playing into his 40s if he never got hit by Lawrence Taylor and
Carl Banks or whatever. Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
All right, we got a big question from John saying, can we win with Tyrod Taylor? I would think we can trade or cut Jimmy and re-sign our free agents. What do you think about that?
No, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a little bit better than Tyrod Taylor. He's proven that he can win. I think that Kyle Shanahan has enough trust in him in the intermediate to at least get them to 10 wins. So I would say that's a hard no.
Yeah, hard no. He's had injury issues too. He's not young. I think the Niners, you could do better with a young. I'm taking Joe Montana's advice. Let's go younger at the position. Mm-hmm. Let's get someone a little bit more vivacious. Mm-hmm. If they go with a rookie, that's fine. Because I don't see any move the Niners can do at this point that takes them into number 1 or number 2 in the division. I think best case, they're 3rd in the NFC West. So build for 2022. If they start some rookie quarterback that they get at 12 or 43 this year in the draft, great. That's the way I see it. You don't need to go with Tyrod Taylor. It's just kind of like delaying the development of your team that you're shooting for in 2022.